Hi guys, so I wanted to come at you real quick today and give you a little video. So I've been having trouble with my arrows blowing through my target. I've never bought a target other than this bag target right here. And the problem with it is the arrows, if your broadheads, not your broadheads, if your field tips are even a hair bigger around than your arrow shaft, they get stuck in here and you end up having to cut them out with a pocket knife to get your arrow out. So a buddy of mine gave me this broad force foam target here years and years ago when I first started bow hunting, and I've put a lot of broadheads into it. He had already shot the middle out when I got it. I've spray foamed it several times to try to stop the arrows, and it still does a decent job. The problem is the only dots where it doesn't bury to the fletchings, even with me spray foaming it and stuff so much, are these outer dots that haven't been shot a lot. If you shoot anywhere around this center section here, you're going to bury it plumb up to the fletchings. Even out to 60 yards, it seems to still bury up to the fletchings. Now, I need to spray foam it again, but and I don't feel comfortable shooting these tiny little dots at 60 and 40 because I'm not that great of a shot. I'll shoot them at 20 and 30, but out past that, I feel like if I'm apt to miss, especially if I'm having an off day. So my wife taught me to buy this 6x6 block target by Feradyne. It's a foam target. I've already been out shooting some today. I'm shooting pretty terrible today, I've noticed. There's nothing on the top of this or the bottom. I'm going to get a Sharpie Magnum and just draw me a couple aiming points on the top and the bottom so that I can shoot at all 6 sides and have something to aim at. But I'm going to show you guys how well this thing stops arrows. I don't know how long it's going to last longevity-wise. I'm not going to shoot any broadheads into it. If I need to shoot my broadheads, I will come out here and just shoot them into the broad force target and shoot from 20 or 30 and just aim at these smaller dots. So there's that, because I know a broadhead will tear this all to pieces. So it is, this thing was an Academy for like 130 bucks is what I gave for it, but it's like an inch or inch and a half or something thick of this foam that's on the outside, and then on the inside is like layered compressed foam sheets. Like I said, you can tell I've already been shooting a little at it today. Not a lot, but just a little bit, just to kind of get a feel for it before I made this video. So I'm going to step back to 20 yards because I feel like that's a fair test. Now, normally, I'm probably going to use this target at 40 and 60 because that's what I've been shooting a lot here lately. I haven't really shot 20 and 30 at all lately. I've just been shooting 40 and 60 to try to build out my confidence on long range, because if I can shoot confidently at 60 and 40, well, then my 20 and 30 shots in the woods this fall are going to be chip shots, and I'm not going to worry about them. So I'm going to step back here at 20. I've got handful of arrows in my bow laid out there at 20 yards, and we're going to aim at these 4 little dots here and just kind of pitch a few at 20 and see how it goes. That should give you guys an idea of the penetration at 20 yards. Like I said, I'm pulling like 66 pounds is what my draw weight set on this bow. My arrows are 28 3/4 of an inch long from the end of the nock to the tip of the arrow without a field tip or anything in it. That's what I cut them to. So, and I've got a 28.5, 29-inch draw, something like that. So that ought to tell you. I think the speed this thing's shooting is like 282 is what my sight tape claims is for. My sight tape says it's for 282 feet a second. So let's see if I can give you an idea of the penetration here. 1, 2, 'Put one more in it here. 3. All right, guys, so all those shots are 20 yards. That'll give you an idea. If it'll stop them at 20 without them coming out the backside, it's for sure going to stop them at 40 and 60. Like I said, spoiler alert, I've already been shooting from 40 and 60, so I know it stops them good. I'm just shooting terrible today. I'm not shooting the greatest, but it's not about my shooting. It's about the target and how it performs. It's what we're trying to make this video on. So You can see I aimed here, here, and here. I'm in the black on all of them. No surprise at 20. Nothing came out the back. You can see there's no arrows sticking out the back side here. Not even, well, I won't say not even close, but we'll see. I'll keep my thumb where I pull it from. So, at my thumb, that's where it was at, how far it was buried. So about, it looks like about halfway, honestly. Looks like they're stopping about 2 inches from coming out the backside. Every arrow got about the same amount of penetration, it looks like. They're kind of tough to pull out. I mean, they're not hard to pull out, but on my left hand anyway. My right hand, they're not terrible to pull out. They're actually fairly easy. It's not using an arrow puller either. It's just my bare hand. So, I think this is going to be a really good target, guys. Like I said, I don't know how long it's going to last. Longevity-wise, we'll just have to see down the road. I'll do maybe next season, start of next season, I'll do a review and tell you how it's holding up long-term, or if it falls apart really quick, then we'll do a review, as it's falling apart and show you guys. I'll tell you. But like I said, for Academy, that's where I bought this one, was Academy Sports, and it was $130 for the money, for the $130 price range. I think, in my opinion, for all the research I've done, that's about the best target you're going to find. The one I really wanted was the new one from Delta McKenzie, the big black and orange one, and the 36-inch one. That's a sweet target. I just didn't want to pay $350. And the replacement part, the core replacement piece for it, the orange part, I think is only like $100. So it's not a terrible deal. I mean, if you're only replacing the orange part when you need to replace it, but I don't know. Like I said, this was a lot cheaper, a lot more budget friendly, $130 for a decent foam target. We'll see how long it holds up, but I mean, it may not be a good deal if it doesn't hold up long, but in my opinion, just throwing field tips at it, it should hold up just fine. I shouldn't have any problem getting a ton of life out of this arrow, especially with 6 size to shoot at. And you guys know me, when it starts to wear out, stuff starts going through and bury into the fletchings, I'll spray foam it and get a little more life out of it that way. Anyways, thanks. We'll catch you guys in the next one.